Hi, I'm Brenovator. You might remember me. Haven't been doing much lately, just some vlogs and stuff like that, but here we go. This is the real start of things. So you might remember a while back I had an intro video. I said I wanted to do a lot of cool stuff, and then I didn't do anything. I'm a little bit busy these days. But we're not going to let that stop things. The first thing that I'm doing in this channel is this idea of a place-based YouTuber. What does it mean to be a place-based YouTuber? What does it mean to create content in a place like this, where the place you're in isn't only a backdrop to what you're discussing and sharing with the world, but also a vital part of it? So I live in this amazing place called Corner Brook. It's a city in a bowl. It's surrounded by mountains. In the middle of town, you know, there's this park, so it's got a pond and walking trails. Over here, there's the Glen Mill Inn. It's this funky old hotel and this old Tudor building. And then there's the Civic Center, and way over there, I don't know if you can see it, is the university. So that's my university. That's where I go every day to learn and sit in an office and do research. And so this is the place I get to call home. So without getting too much into academic jargon, there's this whole idea of place-based development. A way to think about how communities can draw on the specificities of their place and use that to further community development. I think that there's a way to draw on that idea and extend it into content creation. What kind of place do you live in? What makes it special? What makes it unique? The place I live in is cold most of the year. It's mountainous. It's a small city. All these things, they might happen in other places, but there's something unique about it, and there's something unique about every place that we live in. What makes place an interesting idea is that there are things about the places we live in that are sometimes really unique, and other times they're just like everything else. So, you know, every town has a school, a police station, a library, most of them anyway, but it's the way those things come together. It's the small invisible things in between them, in between the people and the interactions and the culture that emerges at sometimes microscopic levels that really makes the place unique. So I live in a town with a paper mill. It's just right in the middle of downtown, super busy downtown area, and you can't avoid it. So you might be thinking, paper mill, gross, right? You know, awful smell, but people love it here. It's a really important part of Corner Brook's history. It's something that people really associate with the community, and it's just right there. So every day I see it, I walk somewhere near it, you hear the chugging of the machinery, you know, you smell the sweet wood kind of smell. It's really something unique. Another thing about place is that it's routine, it's predictable. You can walk down the same street you've walked down 100 times, feel familiar. But at the same time, it can be surprising. You can see something that you've seen 1,000 times before, be somewhere that you don't even know how many times you've been, and because of the people that are there, or the things that are happening, or what you're thinking about, it can be a new experience. At the end of the day, I think that place is all about the meaning that we attach to it. The experiences that we've had in a particular spot, the ways that we have been shaped and formed by the places that we occupy and spend time in. What it's like to sit for hours and hours in a coffee shop and do something that's important to you, whether it's work or talking to friends or anything. It has an impact on you, and that place becomes important in your mind. So in this exploration of place-based content creation, something I'm really trying to figure out is how to create content with a commitment to place. How to do it in a way that's authentic, that doesn't just cheapen the place you're in, but to actually create content that draws on and features the unique assets and challenges and frustrations of the particular place that you're in. And to do that in a way that gives justice to the place that you're in and really shows what life is like there. I think that's something that's really lacking in YouTube content creation. You know, we have this very generic kind of YouTuber backdrop where people sit in a room or they sit at a desk or vlog, and to a certain extent they could be doing that anywhere. Unless you're Casey Neistat, and Manhattan is just as much a character in your content as any of the people that are in his videos. A lot of YouTube creation is kind of generic. People could be sitting at a desk in London or LA or Tokyo, and it really doesn't matter in a lot of cases, which is a format that I'm not bashing. I enjoy it. A lot of my favorite YouTubers do it. But we kind of have this placeless formula for content creation. And I really want to challenge that and to show how the place that I'm in, this crazy, cold, small city in the mountains, can be just as important in what I'm creating and sharing with the world as me or other people that end up in my content, or the ideas themselves. So what does that commitment to place really mean in practice when you're creating content? Here I am, behind my desk again. What a hypocrite, right? There's still a lot that you can unpack in that idea of place-based content creation. Whether you're creating your content from behind a desk, or while skateboarding through the streets of Manhattan, or while climbing a mountain. All of which I will be doing on this channel. So there's this whole kind of commitment to place idea that I think there's so many different ways that you can interpret that and so many different directions you can take that in. The first thing that I'm really interested in thinking about is how do you feature place, like I was saying earlier, in a way that does justice to it, that doesn't just kind of tokenize it and make it this Photoshop backdrop. In the Newfoundland context, does commitment to place mean that I'll go skiing in the morning and stop and eat Toutons? And I'll show everyone what Toutons are one of these days, in case you don't know. But is that even kind of a tokenization or a cheapening of it? Toutons are something that people eat here, but is that kind of reducing the reality of place down to some kind of oversimplified thing? Or, you know, here in the Corner Brook area, the outdoors are a really huge draw and asset of the community. So if I go on a hike and film the whole thing and feature it, kind of quasi-vlog, quasi-video essay, is that place-based content creation, or again, is that kind of tokenism? I don't know. I think it kind of all depends on how you do it, but I'm really curious to see what can be used well, and I really want to find some other channels that are doing this kind of thing. I can't be the only person out there who's thought about this. And what about the vlogs? That's not really the main thing that I want to be doing. I'd really like to be doing stuff a little bit more like this, but I think they definitely have a place, and especially in terms of capturing life in place, the day-to-day realities of living wherever you live. Vlogging is a great way to do that. Very in the moment and very non-rehearsed. I really enjoy the vlogs that I've made, and I've really got to give props to my partner in crime, Matt Murley, because he really takes that art form and goes crazy with it. Whereas I enjoy it, but I don't think I get that same kind of oomph from it. So I'll be doing a little bit of vlogs here and there, but I think this is going to be the main thing. And just one final note to kind of tie back into one of the original series ideas that I had. So the first video that I made, I laid out some ideas for a series that I'd like to do. One of them was called this CFA in Newfoundland idea, or come from away. So being in a place that's so sort of ingrained with belonging and connection to place, and it's a place where often you know, you can live for your whole life in certain communities in Newfoundland and still not really be looked at as someone who belongs there, depending on where you are, it takes a long time to kind of get accepted into the in-group. And so interpreting the place that I'm in as an outsider, I think could be sort of an interesting journey. And so I'll sort of be weaving in ideas of what my interpretation of Corner Brook and Newfoundland in general means from the perspective of an outsider, of a CFA. So we'll see kind of where that goes, but you know, I've also tried to bounce ideas off of the friends of mine who are from here, Newfoundlanders, to see, am I completely off with this interpretation, and am I not understanding things the right way? Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed learning about this place that I live in, and if you want to learn more about it, come back, subscribe to my channel. I really want to give a big shout out and thank you to Matt Murley, who did all the camera work for this video, at least the good parts of it, and come back and see me.